on patrol on the Arizona-Mexico border. Each person is heavily armed. The group is on the lookout for people illegally crossing the border. Except this is not the U.S. Army, but Arizona Border Recon, founded by Tim Foley, a former Army soldier and construction worker. He describes the group as an intelligence-gathering company. Others call it a militia.
Without borders, you end up losing your sovereignty, you lose your identity, you lose your culture. The majority of it is drugs coming across and bad guys. I mean, this is the spot where people who don't want to get caught come through. Yeah, those are the carpet shoes. This is somebody's vest. There's their blanket, their pack.
Today's mission is to sweep through a number of pathways, just a few kilometers from the border. There is no wall in this part of Arizona, just a small fence. We stumble across some discarded carpet slippers used to cover footprints.
So they just slip them on, and when they get near a road or something, and then they'll wear them for 100 yards or so when they're crossing the road and it doesn't leave a track. Then when they get past the road, they just slip them back off, because these will help hide your tracks, but you can't run in them.
The group is organized and armed in case members run into danger. If they encounter anyone, they look to detain them.
We give them food, water, and medical aid, just like humanitarians would do, but the only difference is we don't allow them to keep walking because we don't know who they are, so we turn them over to Border Patrol.
Well, we've been walking now for some 4 or 5 hours, and although there's been plenty of evidence of recent activity, we've yet to bump into anyone, but the team know they're out there.
The group uses secret cameras to record activity and gather evidence. One of those to join the patrol is Steve Beck.
January 22nd, 2015, my son Grant was working at one of the quick trips in Mesa. An illegal alien came in. This man pulled a gun. Grant did everything he was supposed to do. He went ahead and offered up the cigarettes, gave them to him. And at that point, this man shot Grant point blank in the face.
Steve says working with the group can make a difference.
It does help me with my grief. My goal is I don't want this to ever happen to another family. No parent should ever have to bury their child.
Working at cross purposes to Arizona Border Recon is Enrique Morones. Back in 1986, he founded the non-profit group Border Angels. The group makes water drops in the desert in the hope of preventing migrant deaths. He has little time for militia groups.
If they're so concerned about border security, have them join the Border Patrol. 11,000 people have died because of that wall. 11,000 people. The U.S. Mexican border is 2,000 miles long. A third has wall. And Trump's not going to add any more wall, but he will have more deaths.
The U.S. Border Patrol says it does not endorse or support any private group or organization taking law enforcement into their own hands. Given the rough terrain, Tim believes a wall will not be built here. He feels other methods need to be used.
A border will help some. It'll slow them down, but it's not going to stop them. I mean, the Border Patrol does the best they can, but they don't occupy the territory. They just drive in and drive out. They're basically visiting the area.
The debate over the U.S. southern border remains divisive. In the meantime, groups like this one, rightly or wrongly, are taking matters into their own hands. Dan Williams, CGTN, on the Arizona-Mexico border.